You know what? I'm gonna do something right for myself. I don't get it on this next one. We're gonna do it in the morning. Hey everybody, it's Causa as always, and welcome to my hard mode Zuk guide to get a flawless run using ranged. So to start off, you're going to want to make sure that you have as high level stats as possible, ideally be 99 everything. You're going to want to also make sure that you have plenty of food, as this is going to be quite the run. I'll detail to you what's inside the inventory, and from there we'll just let the live run play out. So you're going to want to make sure you have an obsidian helm for ranging, your grimoire for the crits, an EOF with a dark bow in it, your tier 92 body and legs, enhanced fleeting boots, cinderbane gloves, a Pernix quiver with a set of arrows and bolts in it. You'll be bringing another Pernix quiver as well with another different set of arrows and bolts, and the TzKal-Zuk. As well, inside this picture, please note that I already got the cape and combined them, so I couldn't go back and show you the cape that you will be having, which is the green one for ranging, which will overpower your dead shot. And last but not least, of course, you're going to want to have your Bow of the Last Guardian. This is going to be your starting fit. Now, in the inventory, we've got 2 sets of Elder Overload salves, we've got 2 sets of enhanced replenishment pots, Kalphite Repriser, Fit pot, Weapon Poison, our other Pernix quiver, Blessed Flask, Stalker's Ring, our Blight bound crossbows, enhanced Nightmare gauntlets. We've got the Excalibur, Grasping Rune pouch so that you can have your Disruption Shield runes. We've got our mechanized Chinchampas, Vuln Bomb. We've got Sailfish and Super Cerebrus, and of course our 3 other EOFs, which each have their own spec as listed in the description. Finally, we've got the Mammoth. The Mammoth is pretty straightforward. You're going to want to bring about 6 extra Super Cerebrus, stuff them away in the middle of the Mammoth. Everything else is practically Sailfish. Of considerable note is the Stamina Potion. I'm bringing a half-used one here, but you're going to want to bring a Stamina Potion for the very end, the last part of the Zuk fight. And of course, 2 Restore Flasks for that same fight. If you're not confident in your abilities to apply DPS, bring an extra Restore Flask. It will pay off for you. Now, this kill took me about 4 hours live on stream. There will be points that I would like to stop and tell you guys what you could do better. I did scuff a couple of portions here and there, but luckily for me, it seemed that we got ourselves through flawlessly, and we ended up getting the dub and the cape. So hopefully my mistakes will help you learn some things, and hopefully some of my insights in different parts will help you understand what you're doing with your own bow and your own range setup. So let's begin. Here we go. So we're going to be recording this with a running narrative sort of style. I didn't show this to you guys, but make sure you took your penance powder, your Quorum incense sticks, Lantadime incense sticks, TzKal offering at the cauldron, and a dose of your overload and your poison before you get into the fight, as well as the aura I'm using. I'm using inspiration, excuse me. I recommend using it if you like keeping a lot of adrenaline going. You can switch to vampirism after the first DPS check. Pretty smooth early on here. We're gonna scuff it a little bit here, and we're gonna have to end up eating, as I recall. Don't be like me. In a situation like this, when the lava is burning in your safe spot, you're going to want to try to get to another safe spot. There's one right to my north, that little corner. I'm not using it. That's why I basically had to eat. So that's definitely something you'd like to improve on right there. But when there's fire in that safe spot, it can be a little difficult. Yeah, I'm about to scuff it up pretty bad with this lava. There it is. Why are you stuck? That's exactly what I was telling myself. Look at that health. I don't understand my motherfucking character. So we're at 200 health. We switch to the Blight bounds with Onyxes on. We hit the Excalibur. And we try to get a Saradomin God Bow off. So we can heal 4k over 60 seconds. Get a couple of Onyx procs as well. Does good for us and helps us get back on our feet. Yeah, we get really lucky right here with a couple of Onyx procs. Really helps pull us back. We're in a tough position, but it's as best as you can do with the safe spot. Luckily for us, the lava went away. We try to take out that ranger as fast as possible, leaving us with just melee to worry about. If you only have one style to focus, it's a little bit easier for you to be able to recover and keep your soul split flicks proper, rather than, you know, if you're dealing with 2 or 3 different styles at once. And it's actually interesting to know, I didn't hit a good SGB Seren God Bow spec. I'm only getting about 228 per heal, so in reality I only healed 2,280 over the course of 60 seconds as a result of that. But it's okay, because we could just double stack it in the future, as we will, and you'll see. Now we're going to take out that last little prayer drainer, and the strategy that you're going to see me take here, it's rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. We do this every time we encounter this sort of a wave or this sort of a run. We start off by stunning and then bow specking or debowing that critter to the bottom over there, absorbing his igneous energy. Then we go over here, we take out 2 of those rangers, trapping the meleeer right behind the rock, as you can see. This is where you can get a lot of your health back pretty easily and not have to really worry about much. Take out that second ranger. We take out the little guy there next. Then after him, we take out the next igneous cat by just walking in a straight line, just like that. We keep the mages trapped, as you can see up there. Take a couple of steps out of the way. By the time he goes down now, we've led the other mage out and we take him out. Come on, you. Just die. In a couple of seconds, we'll prepare ourselves for the adrenaline build, utilizing our Deathspores. We're going to switch our Pernix Quiver. It's going to all happen on that last mage. Once he's down to about halfway health, we're going to switch our Quivers and start trying to build Deathspore procs so we can hit the incendiary shot, and then turn up for the DPS check, both for Zuk and for his minions. Here we go. So we build up a couple of Deathspore stacks so we can get our incendiary shot off. Hit a piercing shot to really finish it off, and there it is. Now we wait a second, let it explode, and we finish him. Incendiary shot won't work if the enemy dies before the arrow explodes. Get in there, we drop a Death Swiftness as soon as we can as well. We do an SGB spec, hit off a Greco to build our adrenaline back, and 2 debows thanks Relentless, and there we go, he's phased. Now we ECB spec and we hit a Greco on the first one, follow up with a target switch, a dazing shot into a bow spec on the second. Third one, come back with a corruption shot, dazing shot. Fifth one, debo. Last one, who knows. Bye bye. You pissed me off and I hate you. So, yeah, the incendiary shot lasted just until our first Greco, and it helped give us just that little boost, but it definitely made killing Zuk a heck of a lot easier as well. So from here, we just utilize the safe spot, and we take out all of the smaller minion folk before we go over to Big Bad Dad. real smooth, real easy when there's no lava burning in your safe spot. A note I'd like to make here as well, the reason why I love using inspiration with the bow is because not only does the bow spec make rapid fire an amazing skill to use, but it also allows you to use rapid fire with inspiration and get a bunch of adrenaline back while using it. That to me really pays off, as you can see there when we were using rapid fire, just pulling back heaps of adrenaline. Again, using the safe spot, but getting out of the way for that. Here we gotta fight this guy. I don't even know how. He's shooting us through the soft side of the wall, the low side. I don't know how I'm fighting him here, but I am. So we just said screw it, we'll go toe to toe. It definitely took a little bit of our food to do that. Again, we have a fire there. The fire's gone, so hey, back to the safe spot. We'll go soon. But won't really benefit us at this point to go, so we just turn on devotion and start clapping cheeks, hoping we can get a bunch of enemies down as fast as possible, making sure our Onyxes are on. Gotta eat a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. Onyx bolts coming through with a little proc. And that's the thing about Onyxes, is you can't rely on them fully, but they do help, and there are times where they really do get you through. But the goal ultimately is to preserve as much food as you can for the final boss fights, for the endings, quote unquote. Could have actually enjoyed that earlier procs on that. We have a lot of food, but we try not to use as much as we can. And we're back into the safe spot. Our first priority is take out the hard-hitting range dude. Spawns to the north. Then we take out the mage as he's right beside us, and we'll be getting hit by a bunch of other rangers. So we want to take out that cat and leave it to just one style for the most part. You can see there's still a mage alive, but we try to isolate him so he can't hit us. Stay out of the way for the most part, where he won't be able to hit us, leaving us with just one style to worry about. Alright, so we scuff it up here again. Oh my god. And we basically gotta make sure we keep our eating up. Oh, we almost died twice. Yeah. It's really bad. Don't be like me there. Don't do what I just did. Even here, this isn't a good idea. Note to self. Top left safe spot. Yeah, in that instance, I'm referring to the southeast corner, which I'll start using. And I think about this round right here, we'll be shifting it off from our first safe spot to our second safe spot. With range, it allows a little bit of flexibility. Yep, definitely we'll be switching off for the next one, as we're going to be fighting two Zuks, and you don't want to be where I'm standing when they spawn. Again, rinse and repeat. Take out the first little runt in the north side. Take out the two rangers. Take out the melee guy, etc., etc. Rinse and repeat. There we go. Come here. Hey Marcus, you might have missed it, but I won cycle flawless right earlier on this one, this run. So right here, we're gonna take out the mage guys again in the same fashion and form. Try to hit an SGB down on them when we can. There it is. Take them out and build up our Deathspore stacks. We'll move over to the mage. Basically switch our Quiver and start building stacks as best as we can. Dodge the wall. Of course it lands right on us. Of course. Yep. Basically try to build the stacks as best as we can. Pretty slow stack build there. Sometimes it doesn't go right, but we can always hit Zuk with one to hopefully get it, as we do there. And here we go. Same way we did last time, dropping a Death Swiftness down. Just basically going to town on him. SGB spec when we can. And this time around, to build up more adrenaline and save it, we're just hitting him with a rapid fire. Now we ECB spec again. And just go to town. Very easy. Bye-bye. Now from here, you're going to be switching your safe spots. You're going to be going to the southeast. So we basically surge across, taking out the small healer buster. And then going for the mage next, as you're going to have more enemies. There you go. And as you can see, it's a pretty safe spot. This is going to be where you also come back to take on the triple Jad in a couple of waves as well. Right now it's not as safe given the fact that there's lava everywhere in it, but we make do. You were walking the fish. How's the fish? Is it good? No fish, no fish. Better than what I know. R.I.P. Fisherdamus. What's your name you doing, Derek Fisher? So we're just going to be speeding through these last couple of waves here. It's really easy as far as the second Jad goes. Again, up to the new safe spot, take out the mage first. Really want to take out the ranger, but your mage is the first priority, as the rangers hurt the most, so we take out the secondary style that we can't hit. And here we switch over to our mech chins, and we take out the 1x1 enemy next to the 3x3, so we can take out both the mage and the ranger at the same time, saving those asshole fireball launcher mage guys for last. Basically your strat with them is to use devotion and freedom. In between them, you should be able to get your kills without being stuck with a burn. Again, back up to the safe spot, take out that mage guy as he spawns. Take out the second mage guy, leaving us with just the range guy to focus on. Get out of the way there. We're kind of standing out in the open there. I wouldn't recommend doing that. As soon as the flames go, you go back to your safe spot. But of course, we get hit with a lava. Yeah, as you can hear, I'm even disappointed. So it's just rinse and repeat now, taking out all the fireball guys and just basically making sure we don't get stuck with a combust or a burn that we don't want. Turning on devotion for in-betweens when we don't have any freedom spec. After they're down, right back to it. Rinse and repeat, baby. Rinse and repeat. Now we're right before we get into the final DPS check. Of course, again, just making sure we clear through it in the pattern that we know how. Taking out our north shorty, then the 2 rangers, finally taking out the melee guy. Moving into our mages. Then we take out finally the last guy after we gotta take out Big Ugly over there too first. Excuse me, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But basically for the last part coming up right here, we don't even need to game it. We're not really going to try to. We're just gonna attack. We do have our Deathspores on. We're gonna slow things back down now so we can really get to the nitty-gritty of it. And here we go. We're just gonna drop a Death Swiftness on him and just go to town. I'm pretty sure we might even hit an A-Pod on him. We don't have a lot of adrenaline. Yes, we did. There it is. Just to take him out because we don't really need to focus too much on adrenaline here. All we gotta do is make sure we're at 100% by the end of the kill. And there it is. We start with our resonance, and then from there we hit barricade. And DPS check or phase 3 check. Fast. Got it. Now for the last parts, got the triple Jad here. Very straightforward. Just start in this corner and you take them out. But this is a fight that we all know from normal mode anyway, so I think we're gonna go ahead and start speeding it up here just to get through the Haraken. One cycle's only, baby. That Haraken, that's probably not gonna be a 1 cycle, but I'll do a 2 cycle. Come on, spawn on this side. And so luckily for us, Haraken spawns on the right side that we're already on. We're gonna go ahead and drop our Death Swiftness as quick as we can. A-Pot off the bat, SGB spec. Now Haraken absorbs a lot of smaller hits. There's a minimum hit cap you have to hit him with for him to get hit. Or it's just weird. As you can see the numbers on the screen, he's blocking lower hits, but then there's a couple higher hits that come through, and there's lower hits that go through. So we're just
nice 15k slap.
Trying to focus as much as we can into bow specs, debow specs, or anything that can hit as hard and as high as we need to. All the while we're dodging any of his attacks that he's sending our way, any of those little bombs, little lava bombs. We don't want to get hit with those as they'll drain all of our adrenaline. And when he fires a bombardment,
10k slap,
it's gonna really hurt, so we try to get out of the way as fast as possible. Now that he's taken a retreat, we go ahead and we take the time to just kind of take out all of the enemies around us. We switch to our Onyx bolts and we just start attacking anything that's around us. Basically to keep the area clear and to also keep getting soul split off of it. Dodging any of his bombardments, any attacks he throws our way. And we get lucky here in that he respawns
nice slap. Let's
on
go.
the same side that we're on. But if he doesn't respawn on the same side that you're on, it's okay. You can just go ahead and start taking out enemies on the other side as well. See,
We're gonna hope he's coming back on the same
I
side.
kind of do a gamble here and a risk in that I don't take out any other enemies on the other side, but that's all fine and dandy. Even if there were a couple left, you could take them out quick enough with the bow. Making sure we stay out of the way here. Keeping ourselves nice and healthy.
Yaha!
We're not dropping another DS, we're just going in with damage here. keeping ourselves alive. In preparation for the next stage, we're also pulling out a restore potion, so when we're fighting against Zucky Boy, we don't have to worry about withdrawing anything from our inventory. Keeping the hits alive here.
Bow spec. Nice 10k right there.
And it goes down relatively easily. No food needed, just constant damage, and that's all we get. Here it gets a little dicey. We get worried about the hit, but we take him out.
3k. Come on. Let's go.
And it's finally that time. So we attack Zuk, get our adrenaline up. Making sure all of our potions are on.
Let's go. You
Switching
fucker.
out our gloves as well. And we're on. So he's going to hit you at the start with a combust. Of course, you break out of the combust with a freedom spec. And he's relatively easy there. You just go for, when he screams burn, you just do a melee and then a magic. Deflect. Here we surge a little slow, but we get away from it as well. We're good. He's going to try to drop it in on us. We miss the heal, but that's fine. We get one back anyway. We got plenty of food, so we're not really worried about that. Just trying to apply as much damage as we can. Now here, he always sends his first minion 120 degrees away from where you are, from your starting point. And then from there, it's just a quadrant over every time. There it is. Well, excuse me, 120 degrees again in the next direction, clockwise. Pretty simple stuff, just like taking out the enemies from earlier. Zuk himself is not the hard part of this fight. The hard part of this fight is getting to Zuk. But once you get here, it's pretty easy. So we stagger him. We hit him with an incendiary shot first, into a bow spec, debow spec, into an SGB spec, into debow. After debow, after we cleared the freedom, hit another debow again. We basically are just tanking through the magic hits and just debowing as many times as we can to constantly take them down. Surge away so we don't get caught up in any bullshit we don't want to be a part of. Pretty smooth, pretty straightforward. Disruption shield for that hit so we don't get any kind of damage. Trying to get as late of a flick as always so we can just keep getting health back from hitting him. Second run with the minions here. Second pizza phase, what we call it. Pretty easy, pretty chill. I like to, for the first minion, as a tip, I like to hit him with a binding shot, debow, and then a Greco. The second one, I like to hit him with a snapshot, followed by a rapid fire. That usually does the trick. If not, then a Greco finishes things off. And then the third one, whatever you've got, just let it fly. Not a big deal, even if you use all of your adrenaline, as you'll be able to restore a fair bit of it just by hitting Zuk. We're down to 75% adrenaline. Turn around, hit Zucky Boy a couple of times, regain our adrenaline, excuse me. In the meanwhile, too, while we were getting a couple of hits off, we took the time to move our stamina potion into our inventory right by our restore potion. You're going to want to make sure you monitor your health after all those burns that he does. He's going to set another one up right here. You want to keep your health as high as possible by making sure you constantly keep your eyes on how much health you have. The restore potions, you don't have to spam them. As you can see, he doesn't hit you hard at all, so you don't really have to even worry about your health. I believe there's going to be a portion of this where I don't even have more than 5,000 health in total, more than level 50 health for how he basically drains me, but I don't even mind it or pay attention to it. For this point here, though, we are keeping ourselves as healthy as we can, as limitedly as we can as well. We are trying to conserve our restores, and that's why I said to you guys earlier in the video, if you do have a little bit of hesitation about your DPS, I recommend you bring a third restore flask just in case, so you don't start feeling the sweat if in case, oh, am I gonna get him before a third pizza phase, before another time that he hits me with that really crappy debuff. If you're concerned about it, bring a third one. As you can see, there's plenty of food left in the mammoth, so you should be able to make do pretty effectively. Final portion here on this pizza phase. We're gonna turn around in a heartbeat, and now we're gonna apply our incense shot and go to town, dropping a Death Swiftness, hitting an A-pot, and basically doing our very best to drop him down about 200 something HP in as little time as possible. Once we get him to 100k, Zuk takes a seat and sends out a column that you have to fight, which we'll be seeing in a moment here as we just take advantage of all the crits that we can muster, having our Stalker's Ring on as well. Remember, the TzKal-Zuk is not effective against Zuk, as I understand it. Alright, now here we go. This part is easy. This is where you take a sip of your stamina potion and you just run. As you can see by my mouse movements, I am constantly clicking ahead of myself and just constantly circling directions. The only thing I'm worried about is pressing buttons with my left hand. Right there, every time you take out the conduit of full, Zuk hits you with a retaliatory attack that can one-shot you and basically end your dreams and aspirations. So you want to make sure you have your Disruption Shield active. I took Disruption Shield and used it for the first run. Or actually, I might have used Resonance. So make sure you have either Resonance or Disruption Shield active. I'm actually going to stall for a little bit here, just for a second, so I can get either of them back, and they're back. So we continue on. You're only going to need 4, so you cycle once with Disruption Shield, cycle once with Resonance, then you cycle once with Disruption Shield, cycle once with Resonance. If they're still on cooldown, you can also use Reflect, and you can use your Power Burst of Vitality, which I will use my Power Burst of Vitality here, but I'll also use Resonance just to be safe, because I realize it's off cooldown. And the moment of truth, everybody, coming shortly.
Just in case, I'm gonna build.
Again, we build, making sure we have our Resonance free and we get our Disruption Shield, either or. And we see that Resonance is on its way. We hit Vite Pot and we res. As well as we hit a Debilitate. We don't know if that would have done anything.
Now you just go bye-bye. Go bye-bye. Go to sleep, bitch. Die, motherfucker, die. Yeah! Yeah!
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you learned something or you just had a good time watching the shenanigans. If you had any questions or any comments about what I was doing or tips or just confusion, drop it down in the comments. Check us out every day on Twitch and on Kick and Lord knows where else, and stay tuned for the next video. See you around. Oh, yeah, by the way, like and subscribe. Forgot to mention that. Take care.